hope people that like the ICW don't take this in a bad way. This is again, this is again our own experience. So we are not trying to. I mean, we're just telling what happened to us and our view of everything that we have gone through the ICW.
Right. So we took the ICW in, Norfolk, Virginia,
Yeah.
where the Star Smile won. And we are now almost at 1,000 miles from the beginning. Our destination in a couple of days is Miami. Yeah. And from our experience, it hasn't been it hasn't been that great. Like it's narrow. We've run aground or touched bottom in many areas that are well marked. So it's shallow in many areas, even though the markings are there.
Which make it stressful because you have to keep an eye on the depth all the time.
All the time, even when you're within the marks,
Yeah.
well within the marks, all of a sudden the depth sounder starts dropping and you have to slow down and try to find a channel.
Here we are. So it is shallow. It is shallow. I wouldn't recommend it for people that draw more than 5.
Yeah, and we've seen bigger boats, and they tell us yes, we draw 5.5 and we're bringing down the boat, and I don't know how they are doing it. I don't know what kind of nerves they have.
Yeah. Yeah. Nerves of steel, I would say.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we already ran aground once and had to go Tobo US, which we are members, and is highly recommended that before.
Do not leave Canada without boat US.
Yes, before you get into the intracoastal, do make a membership to Tobo US.
Yes.
It'll pay for it on the first tow that you have to.
Yeah.
Now, we've run aground several times and we've been able to get the boat out of the situation all the time but once,
Except once, yeah.
because the tide was ebbing and it was against us, so we need to call the Tobo US.
Yeah. So there are lots of debris. It's
Yes.
whatever is floating, whatever you don't see, and lots of fishing buoys. So sometimes they are outside the channel, sometimes they are very close to the markers on the channel. So you have to keep an eye all the time. Like I'm sitting on starboard, Hector is sitting on port, and we're just looking away. There's no relaxing. There is all this debris that you have to be aware of. Sometimes it's grass, sometimes it's logs.
There's
You never know.
so many fish traps in here.
Just on the edge of the channel. So if you don't see the marker and you see the fish trap, just stay away.
It's very stressful because not only that, there are dead heads, and I do not know why, but there are a lot of traps in the middle of the channel. A couple of days ago we passed a guy that was anchored in the middle of the channel. I am constrained by depth. I cannot move outside the channel. He had a little pran in the middle of the channel, and he was fishing. And some people don't know, and nobody tells them anything, you know.
Yeah.
And then there are the other, most people that come from the north, the northern states and Canada, and they have done this more than once, they know how to ask. Go ahead, and let's slow down to make sure it's nice and easy over. That'll work. Thank you, Cap.
Okay, we slow down. They slow down. So that's very nice of them. And they're going to pass. Just make sure that the name on your boat is visible from the people that are behind you, so they can call you and warn you. Otherwise, they would just say, "Hey, sailboat, I'm behind you," whatever. Like.
And I'm gonna keep going, and
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't tell
And
you
sometimes they
anything.
don't tell you, and they just zoom by you. Guy has really no manners. This is the second time he does this to us. honestly, no manners. Of course, you are gonna be bouncing back and forth,
Rocking all the
things
time.
coming,
Yeah.
loose and out, and it's uncomfortable. So some people are nice and they do it. They ask you and they tell you, and you ask for a slow pass, which I don't think is. You don't need to ask. I think it's
obvious.
They are
It's
these
obvious.
little ones that are like the fishing boats that I call mosquitoes because they zoom by you. They come out of nowhere. You don't see them coming. You just see, but they are harmless. Like
Those are
their
harmless,
wake
yes.
is nothing. It's just something that all of a sudden you hear zoom and then
Yes.
and then it just passed by you.
They are planning, so it's
Yeah.
really they don't leave any weight, minimum weight.
Here comes the mosquito. The mosquito. Another mosquito. They really come out of nowhere. And let's not forget about bridges.
Oh.
What do you have to say about that? You have.
Well, this video may have a second part because tomorrow we have to go through about 13 or 14 bridges and the day after the same to get to Miami. The closer you get to Miami, the more bridges there are to open. The bridges, unfortunately, some of them open on demand, so you can call them ahead. They see you and they say, "Yeah, keep coming," and they kind of they stop the traffic right before you get there, and they open and you go through. And
sometimes we get a close call, like
yeah,
why is
sometimes
not
it's
opening?
fairly
What's
close,
going on?
and then you have to lower the RPM. You always make sure that.
Okay, our bridge is opening. They always want you to get really, really close.
ICW also says that sometimes bridges have a leeway of a few minutes, so if you're not there right on time and there are 2 or 3 boats, well, they can delay by a couple of minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes. Well, that's not the case in South Florida.
No.
We came yesterday 1
minute
late, and she said, "I cannot open the bridge right now." So we had to sit and bubble for half an hour.
Just doing circles. Just thank God we had space.
Yes,
And
and
there
there were
were-
no other boats
There were
around.
no other boats around, so but half an hour just using diesel there that's going around. That's just pointless.
Because we were not at the exact half hour, we were there at 31.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's the way it works. Tomorrow we have several bridges. Now, a lot of the bridges open. The ones on demand are great because you can call them ahead, like I said, and they're fine. Then there are the other ones that open at half an hour and the hour. There are other ones that open at an hour, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 on the hour again. And there are other ones that open on the hour, 20 minutes, 40 minutes on the hour again.
Yeah, well, try to time your way around that.
Yes.
So you don't get stuck behind.
It's almost
really,
impossible.
really hard.
Yeah, we have
And-
the list.
Yeah, and this is the ICW. So this is what we have gone through,
Yeah.
where we are experiencing at the moment. And yeah,
And we have to add, that is a problem for us because we're a sailboat and we have a 45-foot mast. It's not really a problem for trawlers or, except for the very low bridges. We saw really big fishing ships that went under the bridge and they had enough clearance. Each bridge has the clearance on one side, and it will tell you whether they are clearing like a 34-foot or 40. The newer bridges that have been built along the way, a lot of them are 65-footers,
yeah, most of the new bridges
which
are.
is great because you don't have to call anybody. You just go along your way, and the cars and trucks go along their way, no problem.
Yeah.
So that was it. Just touching
All the
back on.
towns, the little towns
Yes.
that we went to. Okay, yes, there are lots of places. There are some of the dogs are free. They are town dogs. Some of them have power. Not all of them have power. They don't have any facilities. It's just a place to tide. But the towns, like we were told, oh, you're going to encounter such a beautiful towns and such a beautiful places and everything. Our impression, and we are no big city.
Our impression.
Our impression, and we are no big city people or anything like that.
Well, we always lived in big cities, but we're not fond
Yeah, but
of
we live in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are not fan of big cities either.
Yeah.
And we are prefer small towns. But these towns are few. they are sleepy towns.
Absolutely sleepy. Like half the businesses are closed
Close
down
or closing.
boarded.
They don't open on weekends.
Sundays, forget it. Sunday
Yeah.
is not a day that anybody opens
No.
in rural U.S. I
No.
guess along the ICW.
So yeah, they are charming. They are nice. They have nice architecture, but
They have
there is
good history.
and good history. Yes.
And the people are very nice because
Yes.
the people have given us rides. They take us to resupply.
Yeah.
The people are wonderful. We
Yeah.
haven't met. I think I only met one person along the ICW in the Dismal Swamp that wasn't a boater that wasn't that was not nice. Everybody else was absolutely nice. They have been nice. Everybody wants to share their experiences and tell us what they know.
Yeah. The people that you meet, they are absolutely a delight. They have information. They have stories. No doubt about it. But that's
But
all.
the towns really, you walk a block and you kind of walk the town.
Yeah.
And that's it. And yes, there are restaurants along the way. There are many places you can go.
Sometimes they are close. Sometimes they are walk away. But
Yeah.
yeah, but it's up to you. So this is our view now. The good things about the ICW, yes, is very protected water, even though
From weather.
from yeah.
From
Well,
weather. Even though we got caught in a couple of
Yeah.
squalls in an open area because there are more open areas that are like kind of swamp. They have these very shallow islands, and there is a vast expanse of terrain
Marsh
and
and,
marsh.
and sand
So
islands.
So one of the best things that the ICW has to offer is all these calm waters. Like right now there are like 1.6 meter waves in the ocean. Here is dead flat.
even though we have the absolute latest charts, because I download the latest charts every week from NOAA. For example, the inlets, in and outs, unless they are commercial inlets in Florida, they are not very well marked. So what we were told by somebody else is that they are marked, but they mark them every year because the sandbanks shift and the channel shift.
They do like temporary markings, right?
So we did not know that. So we said, okay, there are several inlets that we could potentially have gone out and avoid some of the bridges, but we couldn't do it because when you look at the official chart, it says only there are 4 feet drawing there. So I cannot go through there. I need 4, 6 to 5, very minimal.
Yeah.
If there's a little bit of a chop, 5 to barely make it through.
Yeah. So weather-wise, we were cold at the beginning. It's really hot right now in Miami. I mean in Florida.
Yeah.
We are like 2 stops from Miami. It's really hot. It's nice. And you also have to call, if you want to stay in a marina, you have to call way ahead. Like I would say a week ahead.
If you
So
can make
there
it
is-
a week ahead, yes,
Yeah,
it's
so
best.
there is a lot of planning because you don't know if the weather is going to let you get there when you think that you're going to be there.
Yes.
It is a lot of planning, and we've been choosing marinas because like we said before, we are not familiar with the anchorage. We by all means prefer to be at anchor, but the marinas sometimes there are too many close or they are very apart.
Very far apart, so you cannot make it in one day hop. Where yesterday we did 50 miles through the ICW, which is kind of the limit. I don't know.
And but on top of that, you also have to plan your stops, where you want to be and where do you think that you're going to be. And of course, if you're not going to make it, because we have to make a few cancellations, okay, we are not going to be able to make it there. So you have to, it's also nice to let them know. So
Yes.
any other boater that is in need and is in the area can get in and
Yeah,
have
of
a
course.
slip.
Yeah,
So we also have to do that.
we cancel
Having
every
a
time.
phone, it's very, very important.
Having a phone that is a hotspot for internet access, so you can have access to the water guide and
Yeah,
all
well,
the other
yeah.
websites that you need to check weather and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. one more thing down
Yeah.
here is that we are now in November. There are still mosquitoes, and there are still
Oh, the non-sim.
yes, the little ones
Hey
that you cannot
hennes
see.
for the Cubans. Hey hennes.
Yeah, the ones
It's
that you
crazy.
don't see, but they are. I keep scratching because
They keep biting
they
you.
keep biting me, like, and you don't
And
see
there's
them.
a breeze, but there's a breeze now.
There's a
So
breeze
it
now,
shouldn't
so
be.
yes, but it depends on the time of the year. Now, one place that we went and it was one really nice mooring boat was in Vero. Vero Beach has a great mooring fuel, and they are fairly inexpensive. They are like $17 and change per night, and
They have a free shuttle bus to
they
town
have Vero,
and,
yes.
and the surrounding areas because the transit
The transit in Vero is free.
is free.
It's not the marina that has a shuttle. It's the
No.
transit itself, and it comes directly to the marina.
Yeah.
Route number 1 comes there, picks you up. It's every hour, and you can go to town, resupply very, very efficiently, very easy, and it won't cost you anything. It was very nice. We walked to the beach, and unfortunately the weather wasn't that good. So
Oh yeah, I was dying to get my feet in the water there, and it was the waves were.
So this is Vero Beach, high tide.
Wasn't recommended because there's also a what they call it
rip currents.
a rip current. So no,
Yeah, you don't want to get stuck in that.
no.
And okay, what else do we have to say about the ICW?
Yes.
There are other, like this marina where we are now is absolutely 5-star. 5 stars.
Yeah.
They are fantastic. The guys are good. They come. They help you. I needed to get some diesel. They said just get the cans out, put it on the dock. They went. They filled them up. They brought them back. They did everything for us.
Yeah, this marina is top notch. Like
It's a little
Yeah.
bit more expensive. It's $2.25 per foot, but the service is really nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
absolutely.
And it's close to a couple of areas there, like the Thirsty Turtle
And the Rescue
and
Turtle
the
Center.
Rescue Turtle Center,
Yeah,
which is
they have they take turtles that have been
have been
hurt. They've been hurt, and they just nurse them there to health and do the best they can.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I don't know how the manatees surviving here, because I've seen those fast boats going at 25, 30 knots. If a propeller gets one of them, that's it, they're done.
Yeah.
But it's only in the channel, and they are vast areas, so I hope they get smart. We've seen a lot of dolphins, and they seem to avoid
They are
us.
camera shy, by the way. Every time we see a dolphin, we get the camera out, I start recording, all I get is water. If you can remember from previous shots, all we get is water and sometimes a little fin, a little
Yeah.
dorsal fin. That's
Sometimes
it.
they give us a
So,
peek,
yeah,
sure.
it's a lot of motoring. It's boring. It's stressful. And
Yes, we have done some motor sailing, very little, because you cannot do it in the intracoastal due to the leeway and how narrow the channel is. You can be out. So you cannot really run into the ICW unless you are in the big sounds or big rivers, and usually the wind is against us or there's too much wind.
yeah.
The last really nice good sail we had was on Lake Ontario, just before we entered.
Just before we took the mast down, so it
Yes.
was from Solus to Oswego.
Yeah.
It was
delightful.
like a farewell to sailing.
Yeah, it was a delightful sail, and it was on a beam reach all the
Oh.
way there. Great time,
Very nice.
doing good speed, but that
Yeah.
was it. After that, the sails have been kind of hanging there.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, any comments, anything you want us to talk about it or to expand on, leave the comments underneath and we get back to you. We like to answer every questions. We are no shy of telling like it is. It's our experience. That's what we're telling.
Yes.
So
At
this
the
is
end
it.
At the end of 2 months, I have to admit I have a little bit of cabin fever. I've been in this place for way too long. And I'm dying to get to Miami where we have family and we're going to be off the boat for a few days too. And on and off the boat. So,
Yeah.
it's gonna be-
We're gonna be busy. We're gonna be busy. I
Hope
can't.
so.
I like to be busy.
yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. So, cheers.
Cheers.